Welcome back. We're glad you're here. The channel where your everyday frustrations get the spotlights they deserve. We're talking about bad drivers and traffic. Driving should be easy, right? You get in your car. Car, road, destination. We're diving into the bad drivers, the traffic situations, from the freeways to your neighborhoods, to afternoon pickups, school, and activities. Do you ever notice how driving should be the easiest part of your day? But by the time you actually get to your destination, you're angry, you're tired, frustrated, and probably a little depressed.
Southern California traffic, the worst thing humanity has ever invented.
Seems like the rules of the road just don't apply to anyone anymore. And no matter what time of the day you get on the road, there's congestion. Somehow, somewhere, something's going on. Most of the time, it's literally nothing. Let's not forget how this affects our mental health, our overall general happiness, our joy from being on the road, sitting in traffic, or dealing with bad drivers. It raises blood pressure, increases stress levels. It's a killjoy. Most of my driving is pretty much around the neighborhood. Stay close to home, my errands, school pickups, after-school activities, dance team, after-school dance. I feel like I'm spending almost all time in the car. But whatever happened to etiquette and rules of the road? I don't understand what's happening to people anymore. We have entrusted people with a 2-ton vehicle, and they treat it like it's a Tonka toy. Remember Tonka toys? But it's a major responsibility to be behind the wheel, and no one seems to apply the rules to the road anymore. Stop signs. It's like they don't exist anymore. Where's the courtesy? 4-way stop. You look, you see who got there first. People just go right through them. And turn signals. Turn signals. Has that become an option? Oh, I think I might turn my turn signal on now. It's a safety feature for the people around you on the road so they know what your next action is. It's not an option, it's a requirement by law. Don't get me started about speeding. We're living in quiet neighborhoods, enjoying an afternoon. You hear a car screeching by. This is not a drag race. What the hell's going on? Let's not forget about road rage. That's not just a specialty for the freeways. It happens in the neighborhoods. It's ridiculous.
Southern California traffic, the worst thing humanity ever invented, period. I mean, you think traffic is bad? No, it's apocalyptic. And I'm gonna give you 7 reasons why. And trust me, you'll wanna hang around because number 6 will make you wanna sell your car, maybe fake your death, and move to Montana. You think you've seen bad traffic? No, no, no. You've only glimpsed hell's waiting room. So buckle up. Let's get into this.
Community, respect for one another. Where to go? Respect for the machine that you're driving. Respect for your fellow human. This world has become, this world has become a place where sometimes it's difficult to live in.
I'm gonna tell you what I mean. Let me give you a little bit of context. Have you ever driven the 405? It doesn't matter what time of day. It could be rush hour. It could be 3 a.m. It could be a goddamn leap year. It makes no difference. It's a parking lot. The 405 is nothing but a parking lot. It just has better signage. So quite honestly, you can forget the circles of hell. It is just the 405.
I remember when my kids were young, we were working on some kind of craft. So I wanted to get the project done quickly, and I had an errand to do. So I had to go to Michael's. Of course, the kids were like, oh, I want to come. No, stay home. Let me do this quickly. I'll bring back what we need. So I run over to Michael's. A 10-minute drive to Michael's turned into hours because of bad etiquette and the disrespect of other people on the road. Let me tell you the story. So I get in my car, happy-go-lucky, thinking I'm going to go get this done quickly so we can go home and finish the craft, or I can get home and we can finish the craft. Well, behind me I hear sirens. You know, what do? You pull over. But there were cars on the side of me, so I couldn't move over. There was nothing I could do. I had to wait. But I couldn't wait because the emergency vehicles were getting closer to me. So I put my emergency hazards on, and I stopped, just like everybody else on the street. But the person behind me, they weren't happy about that. So they slammed on the brakes. They didn't hit me, but they got very angry. So when the emergency vehicles cleared, they decided that they were going to pull out, sideswipe my car, and cut in front of me. At that point, they proceeded to get out of the car. Now they're out of the car. They've damaged my car. First thing I do is lock my doors, make sure all my windows are up. They approach my car, and about 4 people get out of this vehicle, 4 young men. And they decide that they're going to take their rage and their anger out on me. And they proceed to kick my car to the point where my SUV is rocking back and forth. Then they decide to scream all kinds of profanities at me and spit on my car. I was terrified, and thank God I did not have my children with me at that point. When they decided they had enough and that they weren't getting the rise out of me that they wanted, they all got back in their car and they drove away. Thank goodness I had enough sense and was able to jot down their license plate number. So I did press charges. I called the police, I filed a report, and my little 10-minute errand turned into an all-nighter. And what happened to the ringleader? Well, he got anger management classes, he had to pay for the damage in my car, and then some other fines. But do you really think that's a deterrent? So you tell me, where's the etiquette of the road? Where are the rules of the road? Where's the respect for people around you? And for emergency vehicles as well.
And while I'm on the subject, let's talk about rubbernecking. Do you know what rubbernecking is? It's when you slow down to stare at an accident. I'm not sure what is the fascination with tragedy or accidents on this planet, but it is a little bit ridiculous. So it doesn't matter whether you're going north or south. Everything could be running smooth, but if somebody has an accident on either side of the highway, both sides stop. Slows you down for about an hour, maybe more. And then when you finally get up to where you can see what's going on, it's just one dude with a flat tire. So you wasted 45 minutes for this? And then God forbid, once you get past it, everybody realizes that, oh man, I'm gonna be late. And then all of a sudden the highway turns into Fast and the Furious. And that is another thing that is just messing with me. When the traffic clears, why do we all become lunatics? It's either 0 miles an hour or it's 95 in a school zone. So basically, there is no in between. 1 second, you're sitting in your car. The next second, all of a sudden, you are surrounded by grocery getters and minivans doing NASCAR maneuvers on the highway. And in Southern California, I don't know if you've ever been here, but it is kind of like a crapshoot. This is the only place that it can take you, if you have to go 10 miles, it could take you an hour, maybe 2. This is the only place you don't ask how far something is, you ask how long it's gonna be. So when somebody says, oh, it's only 5 miles away, that's great, but doesn't tell you much. That could either take you 6 minutes like normal, or it can mean you're spending the rest of your natural-born life stuck in a car.
And all you parents out there, you know what it's like going to drop your kid off at school. You know what it's like picking your kid up from school. It's a nightmare, it's chaotic. Nobody pays attention to what they're doing. Nobody cares what the other people are doing on the road. They have their own agenda, and that's it. Parents are double parked, leaving their cars unattended, deciding to take 10 minutes to get out of the car, help their child in to get their instruments and their backpack into the car, while there is a line of other parents trying to get to their children. No one has any respect anymore for community or for other people on the road. And let's not forget the kids at school. They're darting out across the street. Parents are parked maybe on the corner or across the street, and people are not paying attention.
And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're gonna ask. Why is it so bad? I'm gonna tell you why it's so bad. It's because everyone here has their own car. And not just one car. Everybody has a car. Mom, dad, kids, even the dog or the cat, they also may have a car. In every driveway, there's at least 2 or 3. It's like they're running a rental service out of their goddamn driveway. And don't get me wrong, yeah, we have public transportation. I know you're gonna say, oh, you could use public transportation. Yeah, you can do that. But remember, this is in LA. So when they ask, do we have it? Yeah, of course we have it. But it's like spotting a unicorn. When you tell people you've seen it, nobody believes you. And it's never on time. So unfortunately, the car is the best bet.
So great, now your kids are home, but they have after-school activities. Have you ever tried to take your child, drop off and pick up at dance classes? People there are also inconsiderate. It's not just the drivers in the car, but it's the parents that are standing around in the parking lot when you're so desperately trying to find that parking spot so you can just zip right in. There's a couple of parents just chatting in the one sacred parking spot that's left. Then we have the parents that decide they're going to pick up their child and they're not going to park. They're just going to wait. They're going to wait outside the dance studio, like right in the middle of everything. So you can't get anywhere near the dance studio because there's a car parked there blocking all the traffic. You can't get in, you can't get out. You're literally trapped. Again, with the unloading and the loading of the costumes, the dance bags, this, that, and the other thing. If your kid is old enough to come out and get in the car by themselves, they're old enough to bring their gear in themselves. We don't need to handhold our children anymore. Unfortunately, a lot of our bad drivers are because they're distracted. They're on their phones, they're texting, listening to music. Again, you were entrusted with this vehicle, and to take that lightly is disrespectful to your community and to the people on the road with you, because one little slip, one little eyes off the road can cause damage.
And okay, guys, this is it. This is what you've been waiting for. This is the one that will blow your mind. Are you ready for this? All right, here we go. They keep adding lanes and the traffic gets worse. I'm gonna give that to you again. They keep adding lanes and the traffic gets worse. Let that sink in for a moment. Is this some type of freeway witchcraft? That's right. All the construction, everything that you've been in traffic for already, they say, hey, guess what, folks? We've added a whole nother lane, and you get happy for a moment, and then bam, all of a sudden, there are double the Teslas on autopilot in the fast lane, watching, I don't know, some YouTube channel or TikTok. It's ridiculous. Except if you're watching our YouTube channel, I hear that's fine, allegedly. So don't forget to like and subscribe because, like I said, it might be okay if you watch Easy Expeditions. I'm just saying. But yes, much like the universe, the freeways are expanding. However, your commute takes longer. It's like science fiction. It's just cruel.
Now let's talk about parking lots. I think it's one of the most dangerous places you can have a car, especially in the driver. People are not paying attention. They're darting out. Doors are flying open here and there. They're stopping in the middle of nowhere. They're stopping, waiting for another car. Hopefully they're coming out. Meanwhile, there is a line behind them of cars that can't go anywhere because one person decides to wait until this other person puts all their groceries or all their purchases into their car, or they have a baby with them and they're packing up the stroller, and there's nothing wrong with that. Take your time. No one's on a time schedule here, but what is inconsiderate is that person that is waiting for that parking spot. I mean, I understand, wait a minute, maybe 2, but to sit there for 5 minutes while there's a line of cars behind you, again, is disrespectful to the people around you. What happened to driving etiquette? So now you found that perfect parking spot. Great. You ever started walking around in a parking lot? Nobody pays attention. The drivers aren't paying attention because they're focused on finding a parking spot. They're frustrated, they're angry because they've been on the road and they've been dealing with the bad drivers just like you. What happened to just basic respect for our fellow human beings?
And I'll tell you, here's the final truth bomb. Traffic just isn't part of Southern California. It is Southern California. So So you can forget the Dodgers game, you can forget In and Out, you can forget even Hollywood. The one thing that unites us all, from Malibu to San Diego, is the endless screaming and cursing at brake lights on the highway. So you think you know LA, you don't know LA. You don't know LA until you have shared the trauma of cursing and screaming at the 405 and everyone on it. And here's the funny thing, you'll keep doing it forever because it never ends. The traffic never ends. Yeah, so when you say, oh, I live in Southern California, you don't live in Southern California. You live in your car. That's the way it is. So buy a halfway decent car with a lot of room. Save your money, don't buy a house because you're gonna be on the highway stuck. So if this is your first time in Southern California, let me be the first to say, welcome. But take my advice. Stock up on some snacks. Binge our channel. Remember I said earlier, I think it's allowed. You're sitting in traffic anyway. Wink, wink. And I don't know, maybe learn to knit, play an instrument, maybe learn a new language. Because once you hit traffic here, you officially live in your car. Okay, my beautiful people, that is it for our midweek meltdown. So make sure to buckle up, stop rubbernecking, and try, just try for me, not to hate everybody on the highway. So make sure you smash that red button, or you can actually punch it since you're frustrated already because you're sitting in traffic, and ring that bell. And I will see you all next time right here. Hopefully not on the 405 though. Have a good one, guys. Oh, and while I'm on the subject, since you're stuck in traffic and binging anyway, this will make you laugh. Head over and click the Funko Museum. If you want to laugh, that's a good one. You're stuck here anyway, you might as well spend it with us. Till next time, guys.